Monica Seles, on this day in 1996, she wins in Australia and gets her first and only Grand Slam victory down there and that was right after the comeback. I think that's the only Grand Slam victory she had after the comeback because she was undefeated in Melbourne. All right, Jen, you got anything exciting going on the rest of the week or for the weekend?
No.
I'm kind of looking forward to a weekend off. I'll catch some NBA action here and there, but we've got a little while before the Super Bowl. I'll be back with the folks on Saturday, where Daniel will join me as long as he doesn't have anything else going on, because if there's no Daniel, there's no Jeff. But that's going to do it for us here tonight.
Saturday.
Yeah, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, not really. Looking forward to a day tomorrow of just gotta take my car in and I'm gonna get some stew in the slow cooker and walk the dog, get some exercise in.
Right on. We gotta take out the papers and the trash. That's it for Sports Overnight America. Now stay tuned for more sports coming your way next hour. Sports Byline Podcast Network.
I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. In one of these updates, I said I was going to talk about Buffalo Bills owner Terry Pegula, and today is as good of a day as any. Pegula's decision to fire Sean McDermott after 9 years as head coach, the way he handled it, and the press conference that followed, which still may be going, were all bizarre. As was the decision to bring in Phillip Rivers for a head coaching interview. He quickly pulled his name from consideration. For fans of hockey in Western New York, they're more than aware of how bad things could conceivably get once Pegula begins to meddle and their proverbial playoff window closes. 20 years ago, the Buffalo Sabres were one of the top teams in the National Hockey League's Eastern Conference. After missing their window with heartbreaking losses to end the 2005 and 2006 seasons, Buffalo began to struggle. But in 2011, Terry Pegula led a group bought the team. He announced at the time that the Sabres' whole reason for existing was to win Stanley Cups. Since then, Buffalo has missed the playoffs every single year. Part of the reason has been a revolving door of decision makers that would impress Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper. The Sabres have run through 5 general managers and 7 head coaches, 8 if you count Liddy Ruff's second go-around. Described by some in the media as petulant, others as just unsavvy, Pegula and whatever executive brain trust he surrounds himself with has seemingly lost a lot of confidence among fans, players, media, and others in now 2 of North America's major sports. Bills general manager Brandon Beane was not only protected in all of this, but he was also bumped up to president of football operations. As we all know, the NFL means not for long. And in the world of Pegula, that could mean any time. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keep it off. It can be done anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year, growing. but they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of it. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott shows the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly. Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is the team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits a year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
It was the Roman poet Virgil who said, "Easy is the descent to hell. All night long, all day, the doors of dark Hades stand open. But to retrace the path, to come out again to the sweet air of heaven, there is the task, there is the burden. If I cannot move heaven, I will raise hell." We'll talk about that later, but now it's time for Rick Tittle and Titillating Sports on Sports Byline USA. All right, thank you for that, and welcome to a Hump Day edition of Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. I am your eponymous host. Get it? That's why we call it what we do, or I call it. And for the next 3 hours, we will titillate you. Titillation, elevation, sensation, Tim Roy. Talking about football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, quarter ball, chess, checkers, rugby, cricket. And yes, Olympics, we will have joining us from training session in Germany is American luger Ashley Farquharson. She'll join us at about 9:40. Dana Gould will join us once again, hilarious comedian. He's at Sketchfest hanging with Dr. Z. I'm going to check that out Friday at Cobb's. At 10:40, Joe Firestone also at Sketchfest at 11:40. But at 9:25, we're going to have a real-life Gurkha on the show, Hari Budha Magar, and he has summited the 7 highest peaks of the world, all with above-the-knee double amputees from an IED that he suffered on duty with the Gurkha Regiment of the United Kingdom's Army Service. And I've always been fascinated by Gurkhas my whole life. They are the toughest of the tough. And about 20 years ago, I got to go to the Gurkha Museum in Westminster, in Hampshire, and in England. And so, I mean, with the kukri knife and just everything that they've had, I'm just glad we didn't fight them in the Revolutionary War. They didn't come in until the 1800s. They are about as badass as it gets. I mean, we have American Special Forces. There's the French Foreign Legion. There are a lot of badass, but the Gurkhas to a man have to be the absolute toughest. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY is the number to call. Emails, rick@sportsbyline.com. Twitter is @RickTittle. Get on back with some open lines.
Revitalize your bathroom with big savings at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off select vanities and free delivery during our bath savings event. Plus, get up to 40% off select shower heads. No matter what style you're looking for, we've got you covered. Shop for your bathroom refresh at Lowe's. We help, you save. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? Most people buy a car and they pay whatever the dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. Call the Car Savings Hotline right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome, he's a genius.
You're now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Hari, Budha, Magar, Gurkha will join us on the other side. The Cleveland Browns have hired a new head coach, Todd Monken. He spent the last 3 seasons as John Harbaugh's offensive coordinator with the Ravens. He was the Cleveland offensive coordinator 7 years ago. We know that Kevin Stefanski was fired. The GM there, Andrew Berry, the guy who drafted Dylan Gabriel and Pro Bowler Shadur Sanders. And they also have Deshaun Watson there. I always get this guy mixed up with the Army head coach, Jeff Monken, who's his cousin. because I just hear Monken. But they also interviewed Mike McDaniel, Jesse Miller, and Grant Udinsky. And all three of those guys pulled their names out because the finalists apparently were going to be Nate Schielhaza. It's a great name. He's the Rams passing game coordinator, and Jim Schwartz, who's the DC in Cleveland. And it finally went to Monken, but this is a huge restructuring in the AFC North. You got Mike McCarthy replacing Mike Tomlin. You got Minter as Harbaugh's replacement in Baltimore. But when you when you want to see what a guy has done in his career, and we're the same age, he was a quarterback at Knox College. No, I never heard of it either. But Knox College is a tiny little school that has deep ties to the Underground Railroad. In fact, it was founded by anti-slavery advocates before the Civil War. It's in Galesburg, Illinois, which I never heard of. But anyway, let me just tell you Todd Monken's journey to get to head coach in the NFL. Grand Valley State, Notre Dame, Eastern Michigan, LA Tech, Oklahoma State, LSU, then to the NFL with Jacksonville, back to Oklahoma State, Southern Miss head coach for 3 years, the only time he's been a head coach. Tampa Bay Bucks, Cleveland Browns, Georgia with Kirby Smart for 3 years, and then the last 3 years with the Ravens. And so he was, when he was at Southern Miss, the Conference USA Coach of the Year. It's a pretty it's a pretty amazing journey, but you just think about if he has a significant other and kids and stuff. But Monken was the guy, became a hot commodity when Georgia won back-to-back national championships, especially led by a walk-on named Stetson Bennett. And while he was at Georgia, he was the OC, not the main guy, obviously. But even though he wasn't the main guy, they only lost 3 games out of 40. And quarterback will be under the microscope, as I mentioned, those guys. Sanders went 3-4 as a starter. He completed only 56% of his passes, 7 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions, Pro Bowl. And he became the first Browns quarterback to win his first career start since 1995. And I remember what team he was playing. But during that one-year stint in Cleveland, Monken helped the Browns generate a pretty strong rushing attack behind Nick Chubb, who ran for almost 1,500 yards, the second highest. The Browns were 6-10 with Monken as the OC, and it's hard to believe. It's only 7 years ago. The head coach of the Cleveland Browns, now that I hear the name, I read the name, I can picture him. Freddie Kitchens. God, just teams like that, and, well, I'm one to talk as a Raider fan. They just go through coaches like laundry. And obviously, when you go to Baltimore and you have Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, how do you screw that up? Well, I guess somebody could have. But 2 years ago, they led the league in total offense. And so that's why Todd Monken has the job. But it's one thing when you're Todd Monken and you go to Cleveland and you replace a guy who was a 2-time coach of the year. And Cleveland, it's been sour there. It's different when you replace a guy like John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin or Sean McDermott. When you replace a guy like that, everybody's going to have an eyebrow raised. So to me, Todd Monken is, on paper, a stale, boring guy who will have no success in Cleveland. No success. And I don't say that to be cruel, but I'm just saying this is just you want to see how the sausage is made. You throw it into the grinder, you crank it out, And this is just another guy getting cranked out. This is, okay, who had the best interview? I was like, ugh. And I'm sure it didn't help that he's familiar with the building. I'm sure it didn't hurt that people know who he is. And by the way, we will get into the whole Belichick thing not being for Hall of Famer. There's an interesting report out of the NFL. The Jets and head coach Aaron Glenn contacted John Gruden about having a role on the Jets staff, but that John Gruden said no. And apparently John Gruden doesn't want to be an OC or a quarterback coach or a passing game coordinator. You know what they usually do is they say assistant head coach. Yeah, I don't think Gruden wants to do that. But because the offensive coordinator for the Jets, does anybody know his name? Tanner Engstrand? Huh? So we know the Jets finished 3-14, tumultuous finish, falling on offensive ineptitude, and they went out last season and last offseason got Justin Fields, and no team gave up more sacks. 12% of the time. Just think that. For every 100 times the quarterback drops back, he got sacked 12. And then they put Tyrod Taylor in the lineup, who sometimes I confuse with Josh Johnson, my guest last week, just because they have hung around forever for 900 times. But the Jets had 140.3 passing yards per game. That's the second worst of any team over the last 5 years. Only the 22 Bears were worse. But, you know, Gruden has shared a lot of detail on his life away from the NFL since he resigned, when he was forced out with the Raiders. He does say he would love to get back into coaching. He consulted the Saints coaching staff a couple of years ago. But, yeah, I mean, look, I don't blame the Jets. You want to read John Gruden is so fired up to get back in the NFL. He'll be the offensive coordinator. You could do a lot worse. But John Gruden, I'm sure he'd probably think, I'd rather go be head coach of Oklahoma State or something than be a coordinator. I don't know. Some guys don't mind. Remember Gunther Cunningham was the DC in Kansas City. He was a head coach. He was a disaster, and then they demoted him. They said, you can't be a coach anymore if you want to be a DC again. And he was like, I can think of worse jobs. Okay, I'll go back down. All right, really good. Reached out to John Gruden. He said, no, I'm good. All right, let's take a quick break. We will come back with a Gurkha on the other side.
Like the legend of the Phoenix, all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning.
Your home? If you've sold a home before, you remember how stressful and expensive it was. Sold.com is here to help you sell your home for the most money and with the least amount of stress. There are new ways to sell your home that you've never heard of before. Did you know there are companies who will offer you cash for your home? Did you know you could trade in your home for a new one? Did you know there are realtors who will sell your home for a flat fee instead of an expensive commission? It's true. Sold.com services are free. So if you're looking to sell, make this free phone call right now and learn how your next home sale can be faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816. Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So make one phone call, regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time that you could spend writing your book, or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
I'm not insightful enough to be a movie critic. Maybe I could be a food critic. These muffins taste bad. Or an art critic. That painting is bad.
Why can't you say you talk to me? You're already thinking about someone else. When it comes home, your bed is on and I'll be gone. But I know my day will come. I know someday I'll be the only one. So now you wait for a spark.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, nationally syndicated out of San Francisco and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome an MBE to the show. That's, of course, a chivalrous award, the most excellent order of the British Empire. It is Gurkha Hari Budha Magar, and he has now just recently successfully summited Mount Vinson in Antarctica. He became the first person ever with a double above-knee amputee to climb the highest mountains on all 7 continents. Less than 500 people, able-bodied people, have ever done that. Hari, welcome to the show, and I've always been fascinated by the Gurkhas, just to, as we say in America, the most badass, brave regiment. I had a chance when I was in Winchester, New Hampshire, about 20 years ago, to go to the Gurkha museum. And what was the selection process like? Because I heard there's like thousands and thousands, but they only take just a couple, right?
That's correct. First of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. And yeah, just I joined in 1999, so we're over 12,000 applicants. And 230 we joined in the Brigade of Gurkhas.
So if you could, now your symbol is the crossed kukri, and that knife, that curved knife, so distinct with the Gurkhas. Is that something that you grow up with, or is that more a ceremonial thing?
We grew up with, so in Nepal, anything with, chopping a wood to chopping a meat to chopping whatever trees to whatever that is, we use. So kukri is simply a day-to-day knife in Nepal that we use it. So initially, like, so how that became our symbol was in 17th, 18th century, when we fought, we used that one to fight with our enemies, and we fought with the British, and the British were quite impressed with us, and they recruited us, and we went to fight around the world. And this is why Nepal was never colonized by British. Even the India, Pakistan, and other countries in Asia were colonized. The kukri is our symbol, so symbol of the Gurkhas or Nepal.
No doubt, and you're right. The British couldn't conquer the Gurkhas, and so they came to an agreement, and they said, "We would love it if you guys would fight with us." And what is it? Because people have thought, oh, it's the Gurkhas are a martial race, and it's like, no, people aren't born to fight, but it is a mentality, So why do you think? Because there are very, very brave people in the British Army, the Royal Marines, the Royal Navy. Why are the Gurkhas so much more brave, do you think, man per man?
I think it's our culture, the geography that we grow. We're little people, but we can run up and down the mountain and hills quite easily, or in the jungle. So we were pretty good, where the British struggle to do that. In the UK, there is a hills, but it's not big hill as in Nepal, and simply we grew up carrying loads up and down the hills in Nepal. So but also we are very communal people. We work in the team. We look after our community, and we look after each other. I think that's what it is. And I think that when you go to the battlefield, you don't fight with the enemy. You fight for your friends, right? So, we fight for. I went to Afghanistan to fight until my last breath, because I didn't want it to capture by the enemy. At the time, there were ISIS where it started. But my friends did amazing job. We didn't have to fight, and they saved my life and gave me opportunity, so I can live my second life.
Yes, 2010, an IED blows off your legs, both above the knee. You barely survive, and yet now Mount Everest, Mont Blanc, Kilimanjaro, Mira Peak, Denali, and as I mentioned, Vincent. A lot of people, rightfully so, would give up or just be depressed and feel sorry for themselves. What is it about you? It's like, oh, as you say, I have a second life, and I'm not done yet.
Initially, I kind of pretty much gave up. 2 years, I wasted 2 years of my time. I grew up in Nepal at the age of 19, where disabled people are seen as a burden and seen as previous life. And I grew up in that culture, and I had the same mindset, and I thought that my life is done. It's finished. I'll sit on a wheelchair the rest of my life. And I look down as other people look down when I was growing up. Sports and adventure, and I started climbing mountains. And after doing all the sports and adventure, I realized that anything is possible. It's just different way of doing the things. We didn't go to another planet, walking or running, right? So we humans made many things possible. So I thought pretty much anything is possible. It's just different way of doing things. If we can adapt our life according to the time, situation, and our ability, we can make anything is possible. And it's also about. It's not about what you do it. It's about why you do it. It's your purpose. That's what drives every people forward. So I just wanted to make awareness of disability, that I don't want other disabled people to waste 2 years of their time. So I want to make sure that they can believe themselves, but also people around us believe us as well, that we can do something. So we also can live a happy, successful, and meaningful life like many others. And that's why I climb mountains. And I never gone back twice on the mountain, and I was very lucky for that.
And you also have a fundraiser as well, your title partner, Digital, and that's instead of a T, it's a 2. Tell us more about the GiveWheel.com fundraiser, please.
Yes. So some of these charities who helped me from my hospital bed to summit up every continent, summit up every, height of every continent. So I think it's for me is just giving them back. So if somebody would like to support, it's Budha Magar Give Wheel page, and it will pop out, and they can help from there. I have got 5 military charities that I'm supporting them. So yeah, thank you so much for asking.
Yeah. And I have to ask too, I hope you don't mind, your parents or your village, whatever, they made you get married when you were 11 years old?
Yes.
What was that all about?
Yeah, man. How I was given 2 choices by my dad. You get married or leave your school. So I thought that at the time that the only way getting out of poverty, having opportunity, being independent is education. Yeah, I surrendered to get married and went to school. Yes, and I was married at 11. I didn't know what to do to my wife at the time. And I had my daughter when I was 17.
Wow. And I should throw in too, before we let you go, when you were growing up, there was a civil war going on in Nepal, and it was really rough, to say the least, wasn't it?
Yes. I joined in middle of the civil war. I joined the British Army in middle of that civil war. By the time I leave my village, there was 21 from my village who were killed, and it lasted for 10 years, and more than 17,000 people were killed, and many are still missing. We're lucky that now we have a peace in Nepal, and they were in a couple of times in the government. Yeah, we didn't have much choice. There's no which side you're gonna go. There's no something in the middle, it was really difficult to growing that one up. And ideology is like really crazy, that brother killing brothers, neighbors killing neighbors. Yeah, it is brutal, man.
We've been speaking with Hari Budha Magar. He's completed the 7 summits, all with double amputee. He is an MBE. And Hari, I told you, I've always been fascinated by the Gurkhas. I went to that museum in Hampshire, in Winchester, and so it's been such a pleasure having you on. You're an inspiration, to say the least. Thanks for coming on, sir.
Thanks so much. And I served with your guys, many places around the world. Yeah, you're, and I was rescued by your guys as well. So I really appreciate that. But also, I'm linked with some military non-profits in the U.S. And I travel quite often, and so we have been together around the world. So I really appreciate your friendship.
All right, cheers, Hari. I'm Rick Tittle. We'll take a quick break. Come on back.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly thanks to reliable nationwide 5G. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
Hey, vacation lovers! It's finally time to use all those random facts you learned on TikTok for something that actually matters. It's the Radio Trivia Challenge from thevacationbuddies.com. All right, here's how it works. Be one of the first 10 callers right now and you'll score a complimentary 3-day, 2-night getaway from the Vacation Buddies. You'll stay at none other than Westgate Resorts in your choice of Vegas, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, or Branson. You ready? According to travel stats, which of these 3 cities is the most visited vacation destination in the U.S.? A, Las Vegas, B, Orlando, C, New York City. First 10 callers get the trip. So stop scrolling and start dialing. And let's see if TikTok actually taught you anything.
Be one of the first 10 callers. Vacation Buddies right now. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834.
It's impossible to have a bad day when you start with Chick-fil-A. Hi, I'm Miles. And this is Grant. And the little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is how that fluffy, crispy goodness wakes us up in the morning. The chicken is crispy, the biscuit is soft, it's iconic. Throw some jelly on it, you can throw some honey on it. It helps me kick off the day. The hash browns are great. And I really like the shape of them too. Little circles of crispy goodness. Yeah, those early morning chicken biscuits are just great, man.
Mornings are a little bit brighter with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit and Simply Orange Juice. Available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
I honestly just got the chills as you described it again for me.
You must be crazy. Use a DOG. And if you was my man, I would have been kicked you out of my house by now. This is what had happened.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on American Forces Radio Network. Joining us live from the U.S. training facility in Winterberg, Deutschland, is United States luger Ashley Farquharson, and she's getting ready to compete at the Olympics in Milano Cortina. And Ashley, welcome to the show. Just about a week away. How fired up are you? Are you able to sleep?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I am so excited. I cannot wait to get there and start the racing. It's going to be amazing.
Now, Winterberg is not too far from where my relatives are in Westfalen in the Sauerland. Did you know, I'll throw this in, Winterberg is known in Germany as where they had all the witch trials and burning them at the stakes like in the 1500s. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah, I think they have some monuments or statues around Winterberg, so I know you're concentrating on the luge. But anyway, the other day I saw a training session with the 4-man bobsled, and I know it's a different sport, but the driver got in. The second guy blocked the other 3. They all fell to the side. I'm sure you saw it, and luckily the guy was able to get in the back and put the brakes on at the end. Yet another reminder of how dangerous going down those chutes are, huh?
Yeah, there's always the chance of something like that happening. The speeds that we go at, the driver was actually Chris Horn, who I train with in the summer. So he got a lot of ups from us for being able to, A, get the bobsled down without crashing with no weight in it, and then to be hop back all those seats and pull the brakes.
So tell me about luge, because I know there's, you can go straight down, face like in the skeleton. You can go back. You can have a person laying on top of you or underneath you. How do you do it?
Yeah, so there's 3 sliding sports, luge, bobsled, and skeleton. We all use the same track. It's just covered in ice, and there's only like 12 or 13 in the whole world. Of the 3 sports, we are the fastest, the most dangerous, and the most technical. I go on my back, feet first, and I just do singles, so just me on the sled.
So I'm sure everyone asks you this. How do you get into it? Because everybody, every 4 years we see it, we go, oh, that looks fun. But the commitment that you have to training and going to the World Championships and the World Cups of these types of things, how did you get started? Because I know you were originally born in Sacramento, right?
Yeah, I was born in Sacramento, and my parents moved to Park City, Utah when I was like 2. And that's where the 2002 games were. So we have that track right in our backyard. It was an after-school program when I was 11.
Wow.
So that's how I got started. And yeah, it was great. So here I am now.
Did anybody ever say, like, oh, little girls shouldn't be doing this, it's too dangerous?
If they did, I totally forgot about them. I get it occasionally, like, oh, your uterus is probably going to fall out. It doesn't really phase.
So how about the opening ceremonies and being in the village, and that's got to be the thrill of a lifetime, huh?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I remember walking in the opening ceremonies in Beijing like yesterday. So I'm super pumped, and all of my teammates that are becoming first-time Olympians, I just cannot wait for them to feel those feelings.
And that's something I think that, I forgot to mention, too. This is your second time around, so you think, wow, I made the Olympic team, and then now that you know how cool it is, you're probably desperate to make the team again because there's a whole line of people trying to take your spot, aren't there?
It's true. Yeah, the Olympics are definitely the most exclusive. We have to qualify. We can qualify up to 3 women, but we're fighting other countries for that 3rd spot. So it's tough. I mean, there's a lot of depth of field, and you really have to be at the top of your game.
So they always say the Olympic Village is like a big nightclub and everybody like hanging out with everybody else and romance and a big party. Is that true? I guess it is what you make it, huh?
I'm sure that is some people's experience. The last time I went, it was COVID, so we were all pretty strictly regulated. But call me back in like 1 month, and then I can give you an update.
I'm going to imagine, too, because I still have the mind of an 8th grader. When you were growing up, you got a lot of Lord Farquharson jokes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Of course,
also
like
the territory.
It's spelled differently, yes. So what is the expectations? Because I know that, the Norwegians are amazing. I mean, all these other countries put so much money into the programs, and as you know, Americans basically have to go on their own dime. So what are the expectations for the luge team?
I can't promise anything, but I will say we have a really strong group of athletes right now, and they're all great racers and great competitors. I don't think anything's off the table.
Have you seen anything change? I mean, I know you're young, but you've been doing this a long time. Have you seen anything change in the sport, whereas, the equipment, the track, whatever?
Well, I guess the biggest things that I've noticed over my time in the sport has been the introduction of women's doubles. Doubles used to be a co-ed discipline, but women were pretty much shut out of it, and so they split it up, and this is the first Olympics where women get to compete on double sleds, which is really exciting. We're all for gender equality. And then all the sleds are constantly changing. We have a pretty rigorous research and development team constantly at work looking for ways to make our sleds faster. So it's been really exciting just learning how how to get faster and faster, even if it's only by 1 kilometer an hour at a time.
I remember there was the Olympics several years ago where Herschel Walker, of course, the great running back, NFL star, Heisman Trophy winner, he decided that he wanted to be on the bobsled team. And, of course, he was fast and strong, and he was an amazing fit. But a lot of people are upset saying, hey, you know, I trained my whole life, and you come in and take my job. Did you feel for those other guys, or do you think, hey, it's America, we need the best of the best, it doesn't matter if you're new?
It's a double-edged sword. If you are the fastest, that's undeniable. You can push a sled the fastest, you should be going. It doesn't make me feel less bad for the people that missed out. Like, it sucks to be in that position.
Do you also, I mean, we've had so many Olympics in Moscow and L.A., and there's always the thread about boycott. They use our athletes. I mean, you guys, especially, sport, the way it brings us together, and you don't make policy, you're not politicians. Isn't it supposed to be just a refreshing thing where we forget about all that and just realize that we have more in common than what we don't?
Yeah, I think the politicization of sport over the last 20 years or so has been annoying, but it's something that's just going to happen, and you just have to deal with it. I never want to be the person responsible for taking sport away from somebody else, but it's totally out of my hands. Like, I'm just here to race.
Now, that being said, there are sporting rivals, and I don't know if you hate any other luger country. Like, who are the favorites? Like, is it the Norwegians or the Austrians? Who are the favorites?
The favorites right now are the Austrians and the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
They have got some really great athletes and some really fast sleds. They're going to be the ones to beat.
So you're not training with them in Winterberg, are you?
No, I don't. No, they're not here.
Okay, good. They might have some spies. And then I wanted to ask you, too, I'm sure everybody always asks this of people who do sports at great speeds like yours. Can you tell us your worst crash and maybe some of the injuries you incurred, if you would?
Yeah, I mean, my worst crash was here in Winterberg, Germany, actually, about 10 years ago. And I went into this curve, and a piece of my equipment failed, and I hit my head on the ice, and it knocked me out.
Oh.
And I woke up covered in blood, and there's blood everywhere on the ice, and I had a really bad concussion, and I couldn't remember anything for about 30 minutes.
Good
It's just
Lord.
a good reminder to be like, to know that given the nature of my sport, it's so important for me to like plan ahead of time. So I've actually gone back to school with Purdue Global just to kind of, because I never know when I can plan for my retirement in 5 years as much as I want, but one bad run and I'm forced to retire early. So yeah, it's something to think about.
Wow, that is incredible. I'm glad you're all right. I want to ask you one last question, and that is, when you're going down, and of course you're laying on your back, you don't have the best view, but are you constantly braking? Are you constantly not braking? Are you constantly steering? Or is the kind of thing when you go into turns, you throw on the brakes and then you let them off? I'm always wondering, or if you're just holding on.
So we have 3 mechanisms of steering, and it involves our whole body, but we steer with our shoulders, our handles, and our legs. And they all work together in tandem to make the runs as smooth and effortless as possible. Every time we steer, it's not braking, but it is creating friction and effectively slowing us down. So the fastest runs are going to be about getting down the cleanest while doing the least amount of work and really using the G-forces to push you out of curves and gain speed. The only time we're actively braking is after the finish line.
By the way, Beijing during COVID versus Milan, no COVID. I mean, that's got to be like so dang fun.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast.
All right, the pride of Sac and Park City, Ashley Farquharson. Look for her representing us. She is the best we have in the luge. Best of luck to you. I hope you bring home the medal and do the best you can regardless. Have a great time there, Ashley.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. If you'd like to follow along, you can go to purdueglobal.edu.
There it is, purdueglobal.edu, the Boilermakers. Remember, we're the only country, and some people say we're a-holes for it, that we don't lower our flag. Like, you look at the Brits at the Berlin Olympics, they're all doing the Heil Hitler salute. And that was just to be respectful. They didn't realize what they were doing. But we don't curtsy for a king. We don't bow to a despot. We're America! Oh, say, can you see?
Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816. Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News & World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work. Real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
What you gonna do with all that junk inside my trunk? My hump, my lovely lady hump.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means. It's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets the people going.
Rick Tittle's got a black belt in keeping it real.
All right, good first hour. We had a real Gurkha and a stallion of Gurkhas, a brave Gurkha. I mean, all Gurkhas are brave, a really brave one. When I was down in Winchester in Hampshire, it's in the Old Hampshire is south of London, and it goes all the way down to Southampton on the coast. Winchester was the capital of England when Alfred the Great kind of united Wessex and Essex and Sussex and all that. And there are many military museums there. I went to the Royal Hussars, I went to the Green Jackets, and also the Royal Hants, or Royal Hampshire Regiment. And that's when I walked in. There was no one in there. And this guy said, "Is old man, I'll help you." And I said, "Oh, I'm just looking around." He goes, "You American?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, let me take you around." This old guy put his arm around me. He was real tall. He fought with the Royal Hants in World War II. He took me around and he pointed everything out. He goes, "Oh, there's a picture of little Davy Thompson. Saddest story, survived the war and died of consumption right after." But he said, "Let me ask you something. In America, if a traffic cop says don't go, you just go, don't you?" I go, "Yeah, you'll get arrested." "So you will get into trouble." He goes, "This flag, we made a German, it was Hitler's flag maker. We captured him, and we menaced him with bayonets, and we made him make this beautiful flag." Never forget that. And usually when an old guy puts his arm around me and wants to walk around, I'm out. That time I was in. I always think that. We menaced him with bayonets. I'm Rick Tittle. We got 2 more hours.
I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. In one of these updates, I said I was going to talk about Buffalo Bills owner Terry Pegula, and today is as good of a day as any. Pegula's decision to fire Sean McDermott after 9 years as head coach, the way he handled it, and the press conference that followed, which still may be going, were all bizarre. As was the decision to bring in Phillip Rivers for a head coaching interview. He quickly pulled his name from consideration. For fans of hockey in Western New York, they're more than aware of how bad things could conceivably get once Pegula begins to meddle and their proverbial playoff window closes. 20 years ago, the Buffalo Sabres were one of the top teams in the National Hockey League's Eastern Conference. After missing their window with heartbreaking losses to end the 2005 and 2006 seasons, Buffalo began to struggle. But in 2011, Terry Pegula led a group who bought the team. He announced at the time that the Sabres' whole reason for existing was to win Stanley Cups. Since then, Buffalo has missed the playoffs every single year. Part of the reason has been a revolving door of decision makers that would impress Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper. The Sabres have run through 5 general managers and 7 head coaches, 8 if you count Liddy Ruff's second go-around. Described by some in the media as petulant, others as just unsavvy, Pegula and whatever executive brain trust he surrounds himself with has seemingly lost a lot of confidence among fans, players, media, and others in now 2 of North America's major sports. Bills general manager Brandon Beane was not only protected in all of this, but he was also bumped up to president of football operations. But as we all know, the NFL means not for long. And in the world of Pegula, that could mean any time. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our pick of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch, Sports Byline USA, Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you. Twitch.tv. Wow, I'm so handsome. TuneIn app, iHeartRadio app, Stitcher app, all that good stuff. Dana Gould scheduled to appear on the other side, then a lot of open. Actually, Dana Gould at 10:40. But still, he is on the other side. It's just going to be a little bit. He has a couple shows Friday at Cobb's. I'm going to go to the first one, Hanging with Dr. Z, where he plays Dr. Zaius, and it's a 70s style interview show. Got a lot of people coming in. Dave Foley, Janet Varney will be on the show as well. And then he's going to hang around for Joe Firestone, Friends of Single People show, and Joe is going to join us in the third hour, about an hour and a half from now. When I tell people Dr. Zayas, and I go, huh? And then I realize if you're under 50, you probably don't understand Planet of the Apes. You probably think it's, I don't know. What was it when it came back? Was it Mark Wahlberg? I don't know. But it was CGI. When I was growing up in the 70s, they had a thing called Go Ape, where you could go to all 5 movies. The first one I saw, before I saw the Charlton Heston, the original one, I saw Battle for the Planet of the Apes. That was the most badass movie I ever saw when I was 7 or 8, whatever it was. But the amount of makeup that they put on Roddy McDowall and Kim Hunter and Claude Akins and all these other, Paul Williams. These names roll off the tongue because it was such a stallion-esque, studly, cool thing. And now people look at Dr. Zayas. I had a Dr. Zayas piggy bank. I mentioned that with Dana before, and he had the same one. Dana's a year older than me. So I'm a nerd for that stuff. He is a giant, classic, enormous nerd. But it's also high hilarity as well. All right, TuneIn app, iHeartRadio app, Stitcher app. We stream through sportsbyline.com. Emails rick@sportsbyline.com. Get on back.
Lowe's knows how to turn big plans into real results. Whether it's new appliances or a home refresh, get started with 12-month special financing on purchases of $299 or more. The MyLowe's Rewards Credit Card, January 15th through the 30th, so you can invest in your upgrade now and pay over time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer subject to credit approval and cannot be combined. Minimum monthly payment required. See store or Lowe's.com for details.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistant fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, iVoice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how the program works, then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy, keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Hour 2 of Tittle Sports. You thought it couldn't be any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. So great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Hour 2 of Titillating Sports. Sports.
Hey, check out Channel 9. Check out Rick Tittle.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Lines are open, 1-800-878-PLAY. The most Super Bowl trophies ever won by a head coach is Bill Belichick. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. He's won 6. Andy Reid, Joe Gibbs, Bill Walsh, I have 3, and Chuck Noll, of course, had 4 with Terry Bradshaw. That's it. Those are the top 5 guys that have won at least 3. Bill Belichick has twice as many Super Bowl trophies as Bill Walsh. And yet, we found out yesterday that he will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And there were 50 voters, and it's now clear that more than 10 did not vote him in. One guy said, Bill Belichick is reaping what he sowed. Spygate, Deflategate, treating writers with disdain. We can debate if voting for him is right or wrong. I'm not surprised with the outcome. This is from a writer named Jason Smith. So they're punishing him for Spygate, Deflategate, being irascible. I wouldn't put it past some people being jealous that he has a hot girlfriend his granddaughter's age. I'm sure somebody's jealous about that. Remember, he has 2 other rings at the Giants DC. 300 wins, 3rd all time. More impressive than 302 wins, 31 playoff wins. No one's even close. You can keep going down the list and down the list and down the list. So the kind of thing, like I'll say, when you saw the name Walter Payton in 1993, there was no discussion. When you saw Joe Montana, there was no discussion. There'll be no discussion when you see the name Tom Brady. And yet for Belichick, there was a discussion. So someone who's so deserving of that honor is not get in. If the Hall of Fame wants to save a shred of integrity, it has to make those votes public. And I don't think there's any chance we're going to learn all the people who didn't vote for him. But then again, you say if you make it public, then you have the conformity. Oh, I'm going to have to do blah, blah, blah. I mean, the Deflategate was started by Irsay, and he was a friend of the commissioner, and that went to the Supreme Court. And so, remember, this is the same Hall of Fame that felt the urge to issue a statement after O.J. Simpson's death confirmed his place forever in the Hall of Fame. You know, he basically he killed a guy and almost chopped off his wife's head while he, I mean, it's a hall that kept Terrell Owens out for 2 years because of his off-field behavior. And then that's why Terrell Owens didn't go to the Hall of Fame. But this isn't like Barry Bonds not going to the Hall of Fame. You know, people say, you took steroids, you cheated, but does Belichick even show up next year? You know that his relationship soured with Robert Kraft, and, you know, he wants all the credit, and you can say, well, Robert Kraft, look what he's done with hiring the right people after Belichick left. But it doesn't, to go into the, I mean, and with Bill Polian not getting in, and his alleged role in the Hall of Fame snub. And it was less than a month into this year, we already found the winner for most bizarre story. And that is that Bill Polian, who was the Colts president, was talking to a Hall of Fame voter, and he said a voter who spoke on the condition of anonymity said that Polian, an ardent Kraft supporter and former GM of the Bills and Colts, the chief Patriots rival during their dynasty, told some voters that Belichick should wait a year as a penance for Spygate. Remember, Goodell fined Belichick personally $500,000. So, Polian, it's funny because Polian admits he doesn't remember if he voted for Belichick. He said he couldn't remember for sure, but he said he was 95% sure he did vote for a coach, one player. He thought it was L.C. Greenwood. So, one of two things happened. He either really can't remember a vote that he just mailed in, or he's lying and trying to cover his tracks right now. So, we know that for over a decade, New England owned Indy, 3 playoff matchups, until finally Peyton Manning was able to get over the top. But the rest of the sports world and football, their responses on Twitter here. Patrick Mahomes. This is all responding to Adam Schefter saying that he fell short of 40 or 50 votes to get in first-year eligibility. Mahomes said, insane. Don't even understand how this could be possible. Jimmy Johnson said, I would like to know the names of the assholes who did not vote for him. They are too cowardly to identify themselves. J.J. Watt says, I can't be reading this right. This has to be some knockoff Hall of Fame or something. It can't be the actual NFL Hall of Fame. There is not a single word whatsoever in which Bill Belichick should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. First of all, I would tell JJ it's not the NFL Hall of Fame. It's the Professional Football Hall of Fame, but I get it. Ryan Clark said Bill Belichick being a first ballot Hall of Famer means that no coach should be ever. And it means that the voters have decided there isn't a coaching resume that warrants first ballot consideration. He is the greatest, most accomplished coach of all time. This is egregious. Edelman, SMH. Shaking my head. Jason McCourty, the amount of time he would spend in meetings discussing the history of each team from ownership down to the players was unreal. Idiotic that he's not a first ballot HOFer. Damian Woody, who was a guest on this show when he was in college, I think at BC. That's a disgrace for whatever committee that decided this. I don't care what your feelings are towards Bill. You just made a jackass out of yourself, and you should never have a vote moving forward. Cam, sometimes I scratch my head when a candidate gets in the Hall of Fame. This time I'm scratching a candidate how a Hall of Fame candidate didn't get in. He wrote didn't, D-I-D-N, didn't get in. Wade Phillips, why are they treating Bill Belichick like Pete Rose? I like Jamel Hills, also a guest here. Bill Belichick could have cussed out my mama, and I would have voted him for the HOF. A bad look for the entire committee. RG3, if Bill Belichick isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, then no one should be. Greeny checks in. Mike Greenberg, there's no justification for voting against Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame. It makes the entire process feel like a farce. He's on a short list of the most accomplished people in the history of the sport. Jed Fish put the idea of Bill Belichick not a first ballot Hall of Famer is ridiculous, and it shows him wearing his 8 Super Bowl rings. Keyshawn Johnson put out a video, but he just said, anybody with some common sense knows that Belichick is first ballot Hall of Famer. This is ridiculous. Aqib Talib, as he's holding on to 2 Michael Crabtree chains. Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer is the most outrageous robbery in NFL history. Just a couple more here. Gerald McCoy, the voters have to not remain anonymous anymore. We need an explanation why Bill Belichick, one of the greatest coaches ever of any level, of any sport, with 8 Super Bowls, is not a first ballot HOFer. No explanation will be valid, but I need to know. I'm sorry, man. This is insane. An NFL executive texted Adam Schefter. He said, the 10-plus people that didn't vote for BB should be exposed. WTF, this is crazy. Yeah. LeBron James. Man, there's no way I read that right. Right? Ain't no way Bill Belichick ain't first ballot HOF. That's impossible, egregious, and quite frankly, disrespectful. Mike Sandos says, I'm a Hall of Fame voter who saw Belichick as a slam dunk. I don't know anything else about voting results, but if this is true, and we find out officially next week, the question is, how could this happen? Yeah, it's not official. Seth Wickersham of ESPN is reporting this. But just one more. Gary Myers, he was just on my show a couple weeks ago. He's a New York football writer. Quote, as a Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, I believe in full transparency. I voted for Bill Belichick, and I am embarrassed for our 50-member committee that the greatest coach in NFL history is not a first-ballot Hall of Famer, and some voters apparently feel he deserved to be punished for Spygate. Come on back.
Strange ways coming today. I put $1 in my pocket and I threw it away. Been a long time since the federal died. Made a jukebox sound like I'm in my mouth. Need to comb my wrist, fix my thoughts, pull my hopes.
Do you need to sell your home? If you've sold a home before, you remember how stressful and expensive it was. Sold.com is here to help you sell your home for the most money and with the least amount of stress. There are new ways to sell your home that you've never heard of before. Did you know there are companies who will offer you cash for your home? Did you know you could trade in your home for a new one? Did you know there are realtors who will sell your home for a flat fee instead of an expensive commission? It's true. Sold.com services are free. So if you're looking to sell, make this free phone call right now and learn how your next home sale can be faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Pick up your call right now. 251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816. Airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book, or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
What would you say you do here?
Well, look, I already told you. I deal with the customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? What the hell is wrong with you people?
I'm wearing my fur pajamas. Hot potato.
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Coming up in the next segment, we will have the great Dana Gould with us and talk about what he begotten going on at Sketchfest. But the lines are available at 1-800-878-PLAY, 1-800-878-7529. You know, I had Ashley Farquharson, the American loser at Park City. She's in Winterberg, or Winter Mountain. Berg is mountain, like iceberg. Ah, is that what it comes from? Yes. English is a Germanic language. A lot of the words are the same. Beer is beer. House is house. If you, there's one thing that they did mess up, though. And they got where and who mixed up, because vo and ver is where and who. You say wer ist das, which means who is that? And you say wo is that? You say like, no, I don't know why who and but anyway, it got mixed up. No one cares. But Ashley was saying that she does not like the political arena entering into sports. Yes. Well, with Trump basically having the United States of Europe, as they call themselves, thinking, you know what? Maybe we should just give America the finger because Trump gives us the finger. Why don't we do some new deals and do a deal with India, whatever. Well, Sepp Blatter, the former FIFA president, who, as Robin Williams said, "Are you full?" when he was FIFA vice president at the draw in December '93 in Vegas. At that time, the president was a guy named João Havelange out of Brazil. And I got to meet him at the World Cup in '94, which meant I just got to shake his hand. I didn't say a word. He was like 6'5", 100 years old, 300 pounds, and a big old tan suit. It was a very imposing figure. I'm sure he was great. My relationship with Heinz Palma from the Austrian FA, this is what I'm trying to use any connection I can to get a credential. And yes, there are not marquee games at Levi's, but it's still the World Cup. Anyway, Sepp Blatter the other day has backed calls for fans to stay away from the World Cup because of Donald Trump and his conduct home and abroad, and Venezuela, Greenland, whatever you want. And there was Mark Pieth, who was being interviewed in Der Bund, which is a Swiss newspaper, and Pieth is a Swiss attorney specializing in white-collar crime and an anti-corruption expert. He chaired the Independent Governance Committee's oversight of FIFA about a decade ago, and that's when Blatter was president from 98 to 2015, and of course he resigned, covered in corruption. Why would there be a World Cup in Qatar in the winter? Had nothing to do with money. No. But anyway, in the interview with Der Bund, Pete said, if we consider everything we've discussed, there's only one piece of advice for fans. Stay away from the USA, ! You'll see it better on TV anyway, and upon arrival, fans should expect that if they don't please the officials, they'll be put straight on the next flight home, if they're lucky. All right, that's a bit much. We get millions of people streaming through our airports, and I'm not saying people don't get a bad time. I remember my buddy was engaged to a Polish girl, and she forgot to take off her engagement ring when they came back from Poland, and they gave them the third degree, like, oh, you're just getting married to be a citizen? This was before Trump. It happens. But I think most people, unless you're a hardened criminal, they're just going to let you in. It's fine. But Blatter said, I think Mark Pieth is right to question this World Cup. So this is going to get underway June 11th to July 19th, 48 countries. Now, the thing is, we already have fans from Iran and Haiti who are banned from entering the United States. If you're from those countries, you can't come in. Now, I'm sure if you are a nuclear physicist or a millionaire, you can find your way around it. But these travel bans, these excessive tactics, the leveraging, or some people will call it just the the extortion of give me what I want or I'll put tariffs on you, I'll shut everything down. There's a guy named Oka Goettlich. How's that for a German name? Oka Goettlich. He's the vice president of the German FA. He told the Hamburger Morgenpost newspaper in an interview that he says the time has come now to seriously boycott the World Cup. Also, some travel plans from two of the top soccer countries in Africa were thrown into disarray when Trump said that if you're from Senegal or Ivory Coast, you can't come in either unless you already have your visa. And so Senegal and Ivory Coast were like, well, what's that all about? He goes, if you already have it, that's cool. It's like, well, what about the people who don't have it? And Trump said there were screening and vetting deficiencies. Oh, we can't handle it. All right. Well, the World Cup has already faced a lot of criticism because the cheapest price for the final is $8,680 right now. And the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, said that those high prices are just people trying to make money. He said people want to go and they will go and celebrate together. We always celebrate football together. I love that answer. With any World Cup, like Qatar, for years I talked about it on this show, and they were building these temporary stadia. There's only one city in the whole country, more or less, and people talked about how convenient it was. Well, now you're on an entire North American continent. It's not going to be convenient over here. And you go, well, I'll just go to the California matches. Oh, well, those are 7 hours apart with no traffic. So, but yeah, you can talk about how convenient these things are. People said about Qatar, oh, it's horrible. And then we had one of the best World Cup finals of all time. And Kylian Mbappe a hat trick. I mean, Argentina won. Penalties. It was an amazing final. And because of that amazing final, it left this great taste in your mouth about Qatar, and you're like, you know what? That was a pretty good World Cup. Was it? Remember Grant Wall died in the press box? And no one knew what happened to him? I'm not saying there was foul play, but there was a lot of things going wrong and tragic before that. But that just tells you what an amazing final between two great teams, France and Argentina, can do. So I sort of think the World Cup will take care of itself. Once everybody starts playing, it's going to be amazing. And teams, like last time, I thought Bulgaria and Romania sucked. They were both amazing teams. I went to the highest scoring game of that World Cup, 6-1 Russia over Cameroon. I saw in person Oleg Salenko score 5 goals, which tied Yus Fontaine's record all time. I saw in that game Roger Mila of Cameroon become the oldest goal scorer in the history of the World Cup at 42 years old. Amazing history in that game when both teams were already knocked out. So you never know what you're going to see. But people associate you as a citizen with your king, your queen, your president, your prime minister, whatever, rightly or wrongly. Wherever I go in Europe, what do you think of Reagan? What do you think of Bush? What do you think of Clinton? What do you think of Obama? I'm like, I try not to think of any of those guys. Yes, I vote, but I'm not sitting here all day going, what has W said today? No, but they're just, the rest of the world is fascinating because America runs everything, and we can also run it into the ground. So hopefully the World Cup takes care of itself. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back with Dana Gould.
When the deals drop at Kohl's, you feel it. You see up to 50% off end-of-season must-haves, plus up to 85% off clearance favorites. And suddenly, your whole world narrows to one thought. Must shop now. Your to-do list gone. Your dinner plans forgotten. It's just you and your cart gliding through the store. Yeah, Kohl's deals will do that to a person. Save in-store and online now. Select styles, some apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654.
Every champion has a team behind them. And for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today. Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
And by the way, can I just say, Rick, that Rick Tittle is one of the great names of all time.
Don't be getting your granny panties all in a bunch. We got Rick Tittle up in here.
Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, nationally syndicated out of San Francisco and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. And we love Sketchfest. It is underway. It's going strong. We've been talking to a lot of performers those last few weeks. And it's going to be a very busy night for our next guest, our good friend Dana Gould, because on Friday at Cobb's, he will be doing his Hangin' with Dr. Z show with some great guests, and then he will be sticking around for Joe Firestone's Friends of Single People show at Cobb's. And Joe, by the way, is going to join us in about an hour to talk about that show. Dana, welcome back, my man, and I'm fired up because I'm gonna check out Dr. Z in person for the first time Friday.
Oh, you're kidding. Is this the first time? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
It's as good a time as you need to do comedy in an ape mask.
I was saying to people, I was saying on my show earlier that if you're under, 50, you don't really realize how enormous Planet of the Apes was to us as kids in the 70s.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing it. I figured it would apply to a large swath of the population that doesn't go out anymore.
That's like that.
But I don't think you need the beautiful. You don't need to know about it to enjoy the show. It's sort of like I don't know who Pinky Lee was, but I can still enjoy Pee Wee Herman. It's sort of the same. Apparently, that's what Pee Wee Herman was. I never watched Soupy Sales. I can still enjoy Pee Wee Herman. But yeah, no, it was massive. It's so funny. I was listening to Mike. You ever Mike Barnacle on Morning Joe?
No.
He's a Boston pundit from Boston, thick Boston accent. But he was talking about how our current socio-political climate reminds him of 1968. I was like, oh, perfect. I'm right in the zeitgeist.
Speaking of Boston, do you give a rat's about the Patriots going to the Super Bowl or Bill Belichick not being first ballot Hall of Famer or any of that?
I'm glad they're going to the Super Bowl for my dad and my brothers, but I'm not a fan of Mr. Belichick. He's got his own problems.
Okay. You know what's interesting, Dana, is I was talking about you yesterday with Robert Smigel, who was on the show, and we were talking about the times that people, great performers that didn't get SNL, like you, Nick Kroll, Galifianakis, Jim Kelly, Ellie Kemper, Carell, Colbert, the list goes on. And he said, he was at the show where Chris Rock killed, and Lorne kind of said...
he was at that show? He was at that show?
Yeah, Smigel was at that show. And he said...
What did he say? I'm curious.
Smigel said, I said, well, Dana thought he had it. And he goes, oh, really? And I said, yeah. But Smigel said, I was looking for Phil Hartman types that could play any character, and Lorne was just looking for funny stand-ups. And I go, oh, I never knew that.
Oh, so what was? So I'm just genuinely curious. I've never talked to anybody that was in the audience for that show. I've only talked to Adam and Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Was Smigel like, oh no, he never had a chance.
we didn't get too deep into it because I don't want to get why you weren't, but I just said Dana thought that when he landed in L.A.
Can we call him now?
But he said fate works out for the people who are really talented, and I guess he is right.
Oh yeah, no, I've never regretted not getting the show. I wouldn't have my family.
Mm-hmm.
It was totally. I also remember. I think I've told you this. I remember about a year after going to visit, or the first time I was close, I went to visit Janine Garofalo when she was in the cast.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up to the offices, and then later Janine and Chris Elliott and I went out for a drink. And it was like talking to two people that just came from burying their parents. Like, I've never seen two more depressed and morose human beings in my life.
Did you tell Chris that you grew up listening to Bob and Ray records?
I did, yes. I was a bit, it's always weird, I'm a big fan of your dad. But we were just talking about that the other day. Like, my friend Mark Malkoff wrote a book called I Love Johnny, about the Johnny Carson,
mm-hmm.
about just his career. And we were remembering how, and again, like The Tonight Show was not, people that only know Leno, Colbert, Fallon, that's not what The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson was.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only show of its kind, and it was much more like a podcast. They would just talk
mm-hmm.
and ramble. You don't get that now. Everything is micromanaged within an inch of its life. Those guys would just, meander in these conversations, and you would get Bob and Ray would go on, Chris Elliott's dad and Ray Goulding, and they would bomb. And no one would laugh except Johnny. Because Johnny, one, knew they were funny and knew they didn't seem to care that they were bombing, which made Carson laugh even more. And they would just go on and just tank, and Carson would be, the less people in the audience were laughing, the more Johnny would laugh. I just found that so funny.
I actually had Malkoff on my show last month to talk about that.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's great.
Well, it's funny. I was watching that Stiller and Mirror thing, and when they went on the show, Johnny, after they left, Johnny looks in the camera and he goes, "He's a Jew and she's Irish. Can you believe that?"
Oh my God. What year was that?
I don't know. And when Johnny was hosting, I guess, and there was the Stiller and Mirror going at it. But I want to, what's funny is every year I have Rich Little on my show, and it's a great thrill to have Rich Little on. But we got into it one time. He got on Carson's blacklist. No book.
Yes, he did.
And
it's in the book.
He says he still has no, because some people like they'll correct Johnny on something or some little perceived slight. Rich told me he has no idea why he got no booked.
That's so funny. That's so weird. Yeah, and he would he would blackball you and then he'd let you back. All right, you can come back.
So,
That's really funny.
we're speaking with Dana Gould. Are you still, dare I ask, svelte? Because I saw you a couple months ago and you were looking very prim and proper.
Oh, I'm sad as a wood tick now. No, yeah, I'm on the. As my daughter says, I'm on the jab. And
That's very English.
I went to get a physical, and my doctor said, "Yeah, you're fine, you're good, no heart disease, no cancer, but you need to lose weight. You're overweight." And I said, "Yeah, I'd like to lose about 10 pounds." And he said, "Yeah, or 30."
Well, you're looking good, and I wanted to ask you too. How long does it take to get the makeup on for Dr. Z, and then how long does it take to get it off so you can go on the next show?
When I do the full makeup, it usually takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get on, and an hour to get off, because it's glued on with surgical adhesive. You cannot pull it off. You've got to paint it off. For big show, like for a show at Cobb's, I have a sort of a combination of mask and a prosthetic that I can take on and off really quickly. I have makeup underneath it for the eyes and stuff, but it's molded to my face. It's got it's not like a pullover mask. It's a pretty, it's a car. It's basically a car. But that I can take on and take off pretty quickly. I wouldn't want to film anything in it, but for like a stage show, it's fine.
And some of the guests you're going to have on there, Dave Foley, of course, Kids in the Hall. You got others, but Janet Varney. I'm a big Janet Varney fan, and she went to college here, and she helped, start Sketchfest. And I don't know if you ever saw.
She's one of the founders of Sketchfest.
Yeah, the Burning Love show, the Ken Marino vehicle. She was so hilarious. There's so many.
Yeah.
That's an underrated series. So many great performers in Burning Love. But Janet Varney, that's
and
one.
She was the star of my show. She was the star.
That's
of
right.
Stand Against Evil.
That's right. Yeah, with John C. McGinley.
It's so funny. I wrote Janet's part for Janet.
Mm-hmm.
The premise of the show was basically, what if Gillian Anderson in the X-Files was teamed with my dad instead of David Duchovny? That was it. So I tell Janet, and she's like, "Okay, great." And then I, like an idiot, I tell the network, "This is for Janet Varney. She's the only person I can see doing it." And basically, what that says to the network is, I don't care what you think. I know more than you do. So I had to read every female actress in existence. And Janet was the first one to read, and she nailed it. And I read everybody. It took 2 gosh darn weeks, and big name actresses doing it. And then it's a miracle. But the network said, "Yeah, it's Janet." And when I called her, she was like waiting for me to say, "Well, they really want to go with Tricia Helfer." Because when you tell the network, "I want this," they go, "Well, then we want anything but that." That's what you want.
All right.
It was kind of a miracle, and it was one of my favorite moments in my career where I got to say, "No, you got it. It's yours. You got it."
Well,
it was really It was great.
Well, it's great to talk to you, hear your voice. Everybody check out Hanging with Dr. Z. I will be there, Cobb's Comedy Club, 7 o'clock on Friday. And then stick around for Joe Firestone's Friends of Single People show. And as I mentioned, Joe's going to join us in the next hour to talk about that. I know you're doing the whole makeup thing, so I won't bug you, but I am very much looking forward to the show. So we'll see you Friday, my man.
Come and see me after. Come and see me after. Take a photo with the doctor. And if you're in San Francisco, if you can find a better show this Friday night that stars an orangutan, go to it.
Every which way but loose, go ape. All right.
Dunstan checks in.
That's right, with Jason Alexander. All right, Dana, great having you, and I'll see you Friday, buddy.
I'll see you Friday, Rick. Thanks so much, buddy.
All right, come on back on Sports Byline USA.
If you've got a property that you've been trying to sell and you've tried almost everything, I want to tell you about something that you haven't tried yet. You're going to think this offer is too good to be true, but it's not. Thousands of customers have sold their homes in any condition with Need to Sell My Home. This is a real opportunity from a highly rated company that buys homes all over the country. Did you know it's possible to sell your home right over the phone with no real estate commissions and no pesky open houses? Plus, every offer is a cash offer with no mortgage holdups. To find out what you can sell your home or property for, call now. Take 5 minutes of your time and call for this 100% free quote to sell your home.
800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. 800-430-0674. That's 800-430-0674.
Okay, let's have a little fun. Do you use the expensive blue pill to perform better? Are you thinking about it? So what if we can promise you results for less than $1 a pill? Okay, so these same pills can cost you $30 or more at a pharmacy. And our Better Blue Pill works for less than $1 a pill. You'll save $29 or more per pill. And right now, we'll give you 120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our Better Blue Pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the Better Blue Pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember. 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUY-BLUE. And thanks for calling.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with sign agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at anybody else. Don't look at the fat-ass losers or freaks. You look at me!
Rick Tittle will fight anyone listening to this.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back. We have J.D. Sharp scheduled to appear in the next hour, and Joe Firestone, who's at Sketchfest. She will join us. It's very English to just be J.O., Joanna, just Joe. Hey, Joe. A friend of mine texted me and said, awesome having a Gurkha on the show. Why would they fight for the British? I mean, on the face of it, that's actually a legitimate question. But that's just why did all the Indians and Canadians and New Zealanders and Australians fight for Britain, in World War I and World War II? Plus, just taking, Alexander the Great, you just go through history. You conquer people and you say, join us or we'll annihilate you. It's a pretty easy choice. We'll all be killed and our entire city will be razed and burned to the ground forever, or we can fight with these guys who are better than us. And so it just happens. Why do you think the Praetorian Guard were Germans? And I don't mean Germans. I mean like the Chatians and the Alemanni, because they saw what happened at Teutoburg Forest. 9 A.D., General Varus. 20,000 Romans, all killed. Then the Romans had to go west of the Rhine and east of the Danube and stay out. That's because they knew those guys were nuts. It's good to have people who are nuts. Do you think Hadrian put the Carthaginians on the front lines? No. He would put those shock troops that he got from other countries he conquered. You go out and take all the slings and arrows, and then we'll bring our guys in. So anyway, I've said now for 2 straight hours, I'm just a huge admirer of the Gurkhas. Their bravery is just off the charts. All right, another hour to go. Quick newscast. Get on back. Sports Byline.
I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning. In one of these updates, I said I was going to talk about Buffalo Bills owner Terry Pegula, and today is as good of a day as any. Pegula's decision to fire Sean McDermott after 9 years as head coach, the way he handled it, and the press conference that followed, which still may be going, were all bizarre. As was the decision to bring in Phillip Rivers for a head coaching interview. He quickly pulled his name from consideration. For fans of hockey in Western New York, they're more than aware of how bad things could conceivably get once Pegula begins to meddle and their proverbial playoff window closes. 20 years ago, the Buffalo Sabres were one of the top teams in the National Hockey League's Eastern Conference. After missing their window with heartbreaking losses in the 2005 and 2006 seasons, Buffalo began to struggle. But in 2011, Terry Pegula led a group who bought the team. He announced at the time that the Sabres' whole reason for existing was to win Stanley Cups. Since then, Buffalo has missed the playoffs every single year. Part of the reason has been a revolving door of decision makers that would impress Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper. The Sabres have run through 5 general managers and 7 head coaches, 8 if you count Liddy Ruff's second go-around. Described by some in the media as petulant, others as just unsavvy, Pegula and whatever executive brain trust he surrounds himself with has seemingly lost a lot of confidence among fans, players, media, and others in now 2 of North America's major sports. Bills general manager Brandon Beane was not only protected in all of this, but he was also bumped up to president of football operations. But as we all know, the NFL means not for long. And in the world of Pegula, that could mean any time. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight.
Broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call, or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports. I hate that guy. I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
All right, the calm before the storm is this week, and it is Friday. We have a Thursday and Friday show. Next Monday and the entire week, we are scheduled to be at Radio Row, or as they now call it, Media Row, for Super Bowl 60 back at the Moscone Convention Center. And last time, Gale Sayers, Dwight Clark, Roger Staubach, Jeff Goldblum, Liam Hemsworth, the list goes on and on. Rocky Blyer, all the guys that sat down with me and gals. Matt Ryan. This time, so we have a few that are confirmed. This is in quotes, confirmed, but Devin Hester, BY, some other guy. But there's also people that we have been told, oh yeah, you'll probably get them. Like Patrick Willis, lots of other guys. I almost don't want to jinx it by telling you all, but I will jinx, or I'll try not to jinx, because I'm just going to say there's a chance. There's a chance. Riggins and Flutie, yeah, that's right. John Riggins and Doug Flutie, look forward to them. John Riggins was the MVP of a Super Bowl. The MVP when Marcus Allen was the first rookie since Gale Sayers, as I mentioned, to lead the league in rushing. He was not MVP. Mark Mosley, the kicker of the Redskins. I mean, it's just so stupid. But anyway, there's a chance we might get Bo Jackson. And so, as I said, we're not getting him, but there's a chance, and that would be great. There's a mural of him in Oakland, and I just want to tell the guy that painted it that Bo Jackson never played for the Oakland Raiders. He played for the Los Angeles Raiders. But if you want to paint him on the side of a building in Oakland, feel free. That's all good. 1-800-878-PLAY, TuneIn app, iHeartRadio, Stitcher app, CRN Digital Plus 2, the cable radio network, Channel 2, 35 million homes as well. And twitch.tv, as I point into the camera. Oh, it looks like there's no latency there. Come on back.
Chick-fil-A's new frosted sodas and floats, it's a 10 out of 10. Hey, this is Lizzie, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats is how well they go together. You will love having your favorite soda blended with our creamy ice stream to make a new frosted soda or float. With the mix of the ice stream and soda fizz, it's so delicious, I call it Fizzalicious.
Order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and a new frosted soda and float at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. Call the Car Savings Hotline right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
Hello, Americans. It's Uncle Sam here. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS has released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, we may be able to lift your wage garnishments and release a freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt for far less than what you owe. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax review. Don't wait. Here's the number.
Call right now. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. Again, for the last time, that's 800-943-9215.
This is JD Sharp. I've been developing a revolutionary sports handicapping service, and you can be a part of the beta. Sign up at betus.com with a deposit of as little as $50 and use the promo code SHARPBetting. Email a screenshot of your account to worldwidesharp@gmail.com and I'll reply personally with my plays. My NFL record this season was an industry best 72-33, and this is the only way to know all my plays the moment I make them. Let's keep making money together.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
We're always excited to have J.D. Sharp from Pro Wagering with us. He has the insights that a professional gambler has. That means he's so good at it, it's his living. Let's talk to J.D. now. I'd like to get your thoughts, J.D., about the 50 voters for the Professional Football Hall of Fame. More than 10 left Belichick off. He will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. As punishment for Spygate, Deflategate, maybe they're jealous he has a young girlfriend, maybe they don't like the way he dealt with reporters, I don't know. But 6 rings as a head coach, 2 as a defensive coordinator. He's the most slam dunk coach in history. Your thoughts?
It's Barry Bonds. This is Barry Bonds all over again. You know, Barry Bonds is arguably the best baseball player that's ever lived as far as statistically. Now, I mean, you could argue Ohtani and Ruth are better just talent. But, yeah, obviously Belichick pissed off somebody. I don't know what he did, but you look at his career trajectory. So Gronk does a roast of Tom Brady. He shows up there. Then suddenly he's dating this 24-year-old chick who basically like runs his entire life, right? Who is business dating. He also got caught leaving the apartment of, I think, that same chick 2 or 3 years ago on Photograph, if you remember that. Then he gets demoted. No one wants to hire him in the NFL. Nobody wants to touch him, right? So he gets demoted. I think they gave Raheem Morris the Falcons job over him. And he gets demoted, basically gets sent off to a build-up school in North Carolina where he gets just demolished in his first season. And then he's not a first-team Hall of Famer, despite the fact that he's the best, most dominant coach that's ever lived, ever, possibly in any sport at this point. I mean, Phil Jackson, Bill Belichick, that's the equivalent. That's really all I can think of, honestly. And it's almost like he's involved in a humiliation ritual. It's almost like he really made some people really angry, and he's blackballed from the league. That's what I'm seeing here, and I don't know who it is. I don't know what it was. It's I think it might be the good old boys club in the NFL, which is a lot of owners. Maybe Goodell. I have no idea. But there's something to that. This is not standard. This guy had an unbelievable career. Deflategate, Spygate, who cares? He was dominant almost the entire career. You take that away, fine. You take away one? Take away one ring? One ring? Okay. You still got 7. 7 isn't Hall of Fame, it's preposterous, and obviously somebody or somebody is more likely has it out for Belichick in a big way. I'm guessing it's Robert Kraft, by the way.
It could be Kraft. It's definitely Polian. When it's sort of like being on jury duty. You look at a guy and you go, he's guilty. I know he's guilty, but still, the evidence has to prove it's not what I think. It's sort of like, as a Raider fan, I hate John Elway. I hate looking at his horse face. But if I have a vote, he's first ballot. I mean, you can't be dumb like that. Like the guy whatever the guy had against Ichiro. It's like, but more than 10, this isn't just 1 or 2 guys who don't like him or who are jealous or don't like the girlfriend that should be his granddaughter or whatever. You're right. I think this is like organized at this point.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be an organized blackball, like what happened in Hollywood to certain people who supported Trump 5 years ago, or like Mel Gibson 15, 20 years ago. I mean, that's almost what it seems like to me, as if a group of people who, for whatever reason, have some issue with Belichick based on whatever he did, have made a conscious effort to blackball him from the league. And not only that, but embarrass him completely. And here's another question. Even coaching, why did he decide to take that North Carolina job? He didn't have to do that. It's almost like somebody has something on Belichick, or he's, the wife is a girl. Like, that's not him. That's not what he does. Again, it's almost like somebody's got something on him, and they're making him do all these different things as penance for whatever he did. That's what it seems like to me. It does seem like it's very organized, Rick.
All right, as we get closer, we're about, I guess, a week and a half away from the Super Bowl now, and I'm always interested in how the lines change. It's, from what I see, Patriots plus 4.5 with a kind of a medium total, 45.5. The total doesn't jump out at me one way or the other, and I know you've said before a 4.5 is basically like a 3 as well. So do gambling outfits now wait to see if there's just too much money coming in on one side, and that's when they change the line, or are they just waiting for like injuries and things?
I don't think there's that much money being bet on this game, honestly. I think there's a lot of really angry NFL fans who aren't very happy about what happened to the Bills, honestly. At least they made the right decision with Brady. But I think this game is not going to do as well as you would think, as the average person thinks it's going to do. I think that there's a bit of an aftermath from that 2 weeks ago, and that Josh Allen, look at the same catch. Cooper Kupp had the base game catch this weekend, and they gave it to him. In addition to the like Devontae Adams. So you had Kupp, Adams, they get theirs. Cooks doesn't get his. Strange, but yeah. I mean, to me, this is a game the Seahawks should easily win. It's really not very close. If they lose, it'll be very lucky. Honestly, it should be a minus 8.5, 9.5 line in my opinion, and it would be if it wasn't the Patriots. They haven't really played anybody. They've got a decent defense, but I mean, the Seahawks have a complete. I mean, they have a complete offense. They can pass, they can run, they have good wide receivers, they have good tight ends, they have wide receivers plural, they have speed over the top. They're tough in the return game with kick returns with Rashid Shaheed, but so obviously is Marcus Jones and the Patriots. And defensively, they have a lot of players, just a lot of good players across the board at a lot of different positions. So they apply pressure, they can cause turnovers, they tackle well. It's really not a very close game. So to me, yeah, usually 4.5 means 3. In this case, it might mean 6. It's 4, 7, 3. Difference between a touchdown and a field goal is 4, right? You add a half point to that. That could be perceived as two possessions as well. So, but in this case, I would say, it's the game. If it's close, it'll be kind of. I mean, it's not as big of a mismatch as the Eagles last year, which was a huge mismatch. But they should win this game by 7+ for sure. The Seahawks should.
All right, last question for you. Just getting back to Belichick. Do you think now this? But before yesterday, I wouldn't even have asked this question because I would have been completely stupid, and I still feel a little bit stupid. But now, after seeing what happened to Belichick, I think there's 1% credence. Do you think voters will also try to punish Tom Brady by not making him a first ballot? He was there for Deflategate, he was there for Spygate, or does Tom Brady not get lumped in with Belichick?
I mean, if they want to lose 50% of NFL fans forever, sure. I mean, it's insane. Tom Brady is arguably the most dominant athlete ever. I mean, his numbers across the guy played for 22 years. He was injured once. His numbers across the board. He made what? I think he had more playoff touchdown passes than like the 10th has total touchdowns passes in the regular season. I mean, his numbers he's got 5,000, 10,000 more passing yards than everybody else, at least 50 touchdowns more than everybody else. 7 rings, went to 10 Super Bowls, went to probably 20 championship games. I mean, there's just no way that you can't say that Tom Brady. And he was the 199th pick out of Michigan. The guy threw the ball 70 yards through the air. He was incredibly intelligent, as you can see, extremely charismatic. He was the golden boy for America for about 10 years straight. I'd be surprised if they pull this with him, but if they do, yeah, you can kiss a lot of fans in the NFL goodbye. That's a promise.
Pro Wagerings, J.D. Sharp, always appreciate your look on things. Thanks for your time.
Thanks a lot, Rick. See you, man.
Okay, and we have open lines before Joe Firestone at 11:40, so don't be shy. 1-800-878-7529.
Who's watching? Tell me who's watching? Who's watching me? I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? When I'm home at night, I roll the door.
If you're serious about investing in gold or silver, Allegiance Gold will give you an additional $5,000 in free gold to add to your portfolio. They can help you buy any amount of gold or silver, even roll over your current IRA into gold. They've helped thousands invest millions in gold over the years, with prices that are some of the best in the industry, with fees that are fair, reasonable, and transparent. Protect your wealth with gold. Save on your gold or silver pricing when you buy from the top-rated Allegiance Gold. Invest in gold or silver today by calling Allegiance for your free gold guide. And learn about the $5,000 free gold offer with qualified purchase. Call now.
800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. 800-413-1937. That's 800-413-1937.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
Hey, vacation lovers! It's finally time to use all those random facts you learned on TikTok for something that actually matters. It's the Radio Trivia Challenge from thevacationbuddies.com. All right, here's how it works. Be one of the first 10 callers right now and you'll score a complimentary 3-day, 2-night getaway from the Vacation Buddies. You'll stay at none other than Westgate Resorts, in your choice of Vegas, Orlando, Myrtle Beach, or Branson. You ready? According to Travel Stats, which of these 3 cities is the most visited vacation destination in the U.S.? A, Las Vegas, B, Orlando, C, New York City. First 10 callers get the trip. So stop scrolling and start dialing. And let's see if TikTok actually taught you anything.
Be one of the first 10 callers. Call Vacation Buddies right now. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834. 800-340-1834. That's 800-340-1834.
There are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap. And then there's us.
Drinking that haterade and bow down to Ricky T, y'all.
Oh, you best bow down when I come to your town, West Side Connection. All right. Joe Firestone in the next segment. We have open lines at 1-800-878-PLAY. You know, it's it's funny how we can get our panties all in a bunch about a guy not getting into a Hall of Fame on the first attempt. In the grand scheme of things, who gives a rat's ass? But this is what we do as sports fans. And the fingerprints are all over 8 championship teams. And I mentioned the first 2 with Belichick. The Giants allowed 3 points in their first 2 playoff games. And then they beat the Broncos 39-20 in the Super Bowl. This is when I was playing football in college. Then, probably, if you ever want to talk about the best defense he ever came up with, was stopping the K-gun in 1990. And the K-gun defensive plan, the sheet that he had during that Super Bowl against the Giants, was the Scott Norwood myth. is in the Hall of Fame. His game plan. And they decided that they were going to let Thurman Thomas run all day. And he thought there, because he said the Bills did, Marv Levy and Kelly, Jim Kelly, they just never huddled, and teams didn't know what to do. They're just overrun. So he goes, if I try to stop both, it's not going to happen. If I stop the run, then Jim Kelly's going to throw 6 touchdown passes. So I'm just going to stop the pass. That's all I'm going to do. To game plan. If Thurman Thomas gets the ball, let him run for 150 yards and hope we can squeak it out. Brilliant, because it worked. And you got to remember the game before that, in the NFC Championship game in 1990, the Giants beat the Niners 15-13 with their backup Jeff Hostetler. Talking about that with Carmine on Friday. And then he went to the Patriots in 2001. They were a 14-point underdog, facing the greatest show on turf, held them to 17 points. 2 years later, they beat McNair and Manning on the way to the Super Bowl, and they held the Titans and the Colts each to just 14 points. The next year, they beat the Colts again with a physical game plan, 20-3, and then they reeled off 2 more wins. They beat Andy Reid's Eagles. You remember with T.O. with a broken leg and Donovan McNabb having the flu. The Malcolm Butler interception on the goal line is still absolutely crazy. The thing you remember about Malcolm Butler, where did he go to college? No one knows. Malcolm Butler doesn't even know. He played D2 football. He was a D2 defensive back like me. That's where the similarities end. He played at West Alabama, undrafted. But what Bill Belichick said, when they line up like this, look for that quick arrow inside. And Pete Carroll said, with Rovell, the offensive coordinator, that the entire year when they ran that play, it was either a touchdown or an incompletion. And honestly, Russell Wilson did lead him just a little bit too big. He should have put it between his numbers, but whatever. We know that. Malcolm Butler didn't make a good play on his own. They practiced that, jumping that route. Bill Belichick was ready for it. They knew it was coming. Then 2 years later, they're losing to the Falcons 28-3. Tom Brady throws a horrible pick six. And Kyle Shanahan and company can't hold it down calling plays. And the Patriots pull off the largest comeback in Super Bowl history. And I remember Godfrey, the comedian, he was in here saying that it was on the take. And he didn't get mad, but he did raise his voice when I dared to doubt him. I said, so you're saying Tom Brady threw a pick six on purpose? He went, yes, of course. It's obvious. Like, wow, do you get over 100 guys on the same script? And then, of course, beating the Rams and Jared Goff and maybe the most boring Super Bowl of all time. They got by Mahomes and the Chiefs, and they went in, and that 2018 Super Bowl was just absolute stinker. But they won. Do you think anybody outside of Boston cares? No. Or inside Boston. So it's just you hold against his personal life. I mean, J.D. Sharp says he has no business dating this guy. That's J.D.'s opinion, and he's entitled to it. I couldn't care less. I think it's completely his business. He said he was seen leaving her house when she was 21. Guess what? That's it's way past the age of consent. A 21 can have sex with anyone she wants. And maybe you don't like it, but it's true. And so whatever your morals or your religion or what you think is the norm or what you think is right. Now, if that's your 21-year-old daughter having sex with a 70-year-old guy, I'm sure you don't like it. But it's legal. Is that why you stay out of the Hall of Fame? The fact that he only won 4 games with the 33rd team, Mike Lombardi, hanging up on me, kind of. I mean, I don't know. I could talk about it with Flutie when I sit down with him on next week. But, I mean, look at his coaching tree. Romeo Crennel, Brian Dable, Brian Flores, Joe Judge, Eric Mangini, Jared Mayo, Bill O'Brien, Josh McDaniels, Charlie Weiss. I mean, do I keep going? Are you holding that against him? Because none of those guys were amazing? Now, Nick Saban was the Browns defensive coordinator when Belichick was the head coach. Yes. We know that Mike Vrabel played 8 years under Belichick. He's one win away from winning the whole thing. But, look, there are other guys who've had to wait. We already talked about T.O., third most receiving yards in history. And people thought he was a jackass, so they made him wait 3 years. Bill Parcells had to wait 4 years. And remember, they kept trying to get him back. No, I'm done. Then he's like, okay, I'll coach the Cowboys. And I remember Lawrence Taylor, said that when Bill didn't get in, he said, shut down the Hall of Fame. It's kind of like now. Bill Walsh, 4 years. 4 years. The West Coast offense. That just means the Niners offense. Joe Gibbs, 4 years. John Madden, 2 decades. Having the best record by any coach with 100 games coached. John Madden's winning percentage was 760. 760. So when you look at all those other guys that had to wait, it's not as shocking as we might think. That doesn't make it right. And look, we know guys who will probably never get into the baseball one. I mean, will Pete Rose finally get in? Maybe. When Trump told Manfred, reinstate him. Okay, yes, sir. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, we know the rest. But the gatekeepers there, the things that you get tangled up in, it makes no sense that it's not a slam dunk. But I do remember Harry Carson, the linebacker of the Giants, when he didn't get in, he said, he went on a tirade. He said, don't put me in your blankety-blank Hall of Fame. I don't want it. It's stupid. It sucks. And then he got in the next year, and he gave this impromptu half-hour speech. I remember it was a boiling hot day in Canton, and Troy Aikman was on the stage. It was the same year he went in. And I remember Troy Aikman sitting there staring in the sun, just like, when will he stop? When will Harry? And Harry Carson just walked around and just stream of consciousness. And I'm sure the hall was like, if we knew he was going to do this, maybe we wouldn't have voted him in because he's killing us. All right, Joe Firestone on the other side. Come on back on Byline.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. And now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816.
You know, like kickboxing, that's my favorite sport. Kickboxing is great. When you think about it, it combines the style and grace of boxing with kicking.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me, mirror, what is wrong? Can it be my daylight clothes or is it just my daylight song? What I do ain't make-believe. People say I sit and try, but when it comes to being daylight, it's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I.
Rick Tittle can usually be found at He Baby Mama House.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to this show. Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. Last hour, we had our good buddy Dana Gould on the show, and we mentioned that he will be part of Joe Firestone's Friends of Single People Friday night at Cobb's, 9:45 p.m. Well, Joe Firestone joins us now, and she is going to have an incredibly busy weekend because before that show at 8:30, she's going to be at Sports Basement, Porchlight, a storytelling series with some friends. And then this Saturday, take a deep breath, 1 p.m., the Business Casual Show at Lost Church. Joe Firestone Creativity Hour at Bat's Bayfront Theater at 4 o'clock. 7, Joel Kim Booster and Friends at the Great American Music Hall, and at 9:45 p.m., Transit Girls back at Cobb's. Joe, welcome to the show. Do you either need to learn to say no, or is this like an opportunity you can't pass up to do 6 shows in 24 hours?
Yeah, I kind of want to like go for gold here, and I love saying yes to emails. That's one of my favorite things. Have you tried it? It's incredible. People get so excited when you say yes.
Do you look? Because I know, like, you know, being in the village, it's like, well, if you have a set at Gotham, then you got to get to the Strip, and then you're back at the Fat Black, and then I got to go to Stand Up New York. Like, you have to kind of plan it. So when you see all these things, do you kind of get out a map and say, all right, how much time do I have? How far do I have to go?
I tried doing that, but then I got distracted. I was trying to find the closest burrito place. But I don't think any of my shows are near any good burrito places. I mean, honestly, help me. Somebody needs to help me. I got to find some good burrito places.
You know what? When you're at Cobb's, I can hook you up with something. How about that?
That is music to my ears. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Well, Joe, I know you're from St. Louis, and I was thinking about people I've had on my show from St. Louis and comedians like Nikki, who, you know, used to do the Punchline, and she come in here, and now Nikki Glazer is a huge star. The Sklar brothers, of course. So that's who I think of when I think of St. Louis and St. Louis Helium and all that. What about you? Who are some of the in your group coming up?
Well, I only did a little bit in St. Louis, and then I moved to New York pretty early on. So But I remember when I was in St. Louis hearing about the legendary Nikki Glaser, and this was in like 2010, and I kept being like, oh my gosh, and still she's still legendary, but more legendary, but it's still the legendary Nikki Glaser, which is really cool, and there's a lot of pride, a lot of St. Louis pride for her.
By the way, I love the way you spelled Joe, just J-O. I seem like there's a lot of women in the United Kingdom that go by Joe, like for Joanna or Joanne. Yeah. Were you always just Joe?
You know, I my full name is Joanna. Maybe I'm British. That's kind of fun.
Well, Joanna Firestone sounds very royal.
It sounds, yeah, it must be princess kind of thing. Yeah.
Of course, over there they'd say Firestone.
Would they?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm learning a lot about my culture. Thank you.
Well, we would say Dr. Livingstone. They'd say Dr. Livingston.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
This is very helpful. Are you British?
I'm half, but you got to go back to the 1700s. It's pretty watered down at this point. So I love New York City. I love visiting. I'm from the Bay Area, but I've spent some time in Brooklyn. What neighborhood are you in?
I'm on the Upper West Side.
The Upper West Side
it's covered in snow of Manhattan.
Oh, you're not in Brooklyn then. You're on the island.
I'm on the island, and there's a lot of snow, big piles of it, and it's all yellow.
So what are you, like 96th and 8th?
Whoa. What if you guessed my exact address? Like, what if you're like 96th and 8th? I'm going to go ahead and say 144 8th Avenue. And what if that's where I lived exactly? And we just aired that. That'd be amazing.
That would either mean I'm a stalker, and I already knew, or I have some medium powers I didn't know about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I found out I'm British, so I think it'd be nice if you found out something from this interview.
Tell me about your time, because I went to a liberal arts college. Tell me about your time at Wesleyan, because it's also Methodist, too, so they throw a little Christianity at you.
Oh, sure. You know, they told me you'd do research, and I had no idea. I'm floored. I liked it. I graduated, and that was huge for me. Nobody knew it was going to happen.
Well,
so I finished.
Well, that's the same for me. I thought I went to this place called St. Mary's College here in the Bay Area, and I thought if they actually give me a Bachelor of Arts, I will bow down forever, and they did, and I have.
Yeah, no, at one point I was taking classes that I just needed. I was like, I know that they won't fail me in hiking. Like I was like, it was some desperate times, but I got through it, and I know I learned something.
Were you in theater there with Lin-Manuel Miranda?
No, I wish I was. He's a few years older than me, but yeah, I didn't get to see Hamilton live, but I did see the Disney Plus version, which I had a great time.
By the way, don't take that and run with it. This guy thought I was the same age as Lin-Manuel. That's not what I meant.
I honestly think most people think he's younger than me. So the fact that you thought we were the same age, I'm flattered.
All right, it was flattery after all.
Yeah.
I also, you've been in a lot of TV and movies and things, and I love the fact that you were in What We Do in the Shadows, because I love Jermaine and just all those Kiwis. It's just so good.
Such a good show. Yeah, I agree. Everything they make is golden.
You know what's weird too is I had Taika Waititi on the show a couple years ago, and it was weird because they're like, oh, he can be tough, and I'm like, what? I always think it's weird beforehand when someone says like, oh, good luck with that, and I'm like, what? They're gonna come in going, shut up, quit asking me questions. All right, well, let's talk about your shows. Sports Basement is actually, I think it's hilarious. They're doing stuff there. It's a great location, though. It's right across from the Palace of Fine Arts there by Chrissy Field. Porchlight, a storytelling series. What's going on there, Joe?
Well, it's a storytelling show, and I believe there's a theme, and the theme is victory, winning,
Sheen?
Yeah. A lot. I mean, a lot. It's going to be Charlie Sheen. Yeah.
Winning.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of references. But so you got to tell a story about a time that you felt like you won something.
Oh.
So that could be uplifting. Could be fun.
Will it be about this interview?
Yes, absolutely. I was just thinking, what am I going to say? And now I had this interview. So and now I'm ready.
Oh, pretty good. All right. Now, I mentioned the one with Dana. He will be furiously taking off his Dr. Zayas makeup to get ready to do Friends of Single People Friday night at 9:45 at Cobb's. And some very good guests as well. People who've been on my show, Joel Kim Booster, Alice Wetterlin. Now, that's your show. So what's going on there, Joe?
So it's a dating show where single people can come to the show and get paired with a comedian, and then the comedian speaks on their behalf in a dating game.
Like on an app or just trying to pick somebody up?
No, in a live dating game.
Oh, dating game. Sorry. Got you. Like traditional dating game. Did we lose Joe? No, live dating game. BDD. Was she on Zoom or something? She sounded really clear. All right, we'll try to get her back. There's enough time that we can have her back again. It's funny because I had on the other day the lovely and talented, what's her name? She did Tinder Live. Anyway, that's another thing where they bring up pictures of people on Tinder and then it's not punching down. It's not like, oh, look how ugly and fat this person is. It's if they do something bizarre, like they show up with like elk horns or whatever, that type of thing. Then they'll try to match people up like that as well. As I mentioned on Saturday, the Business Casual Show with Joe Firestone, that'll be at Lost Church. I don't know where Lost Church is, actually. 4 o'clock at Bats Bayfront Theater. I know Bats. I've been there. That's over in Fort Mason. That's Bay Area Theater Sports. They are the there. Did we get her back? Not yet. That is the improv group in San Francisco. Joel Kim Booster and Friends, Great American Music Hall, and then Trans It Girls at at Cobb's as well. And okay, all right. It seems like she's having some technical difficulties, so we'll head to a break. We'll come back. We got a nice little meaty segment at the end if you'd like to get in at 1-800-878-PLAY.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations, not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. The COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problems.
Call the tax helpline now. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. That's 800-949-0039.
Okay, let's have a little fun. Do you use the expensive blue pill to perform better? Are you thinking about it? So what if we can promise you results for less than $1 a pill? Okay, so these same pills can cost you $30 or more at a pharmacy. And our better blue pill works for less than $1 a pill. You'll save $29 or more per pill. And right now, we'll give you 120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our better blue pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the better blue pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUY-BLUE. And thanks for calling.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739.
If we're handing out insults for being fat, let's have a go at him. Look at him. Why? And he's got glasses. Let's call 4 eyes as well. Why do we call him Fatty Fatty Toad Boy? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't be getting your granny panties all in a bunch. We got Rick Tittle up in here.
All right, thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. You know, if you want to get in real quick, 1-800-878-7529 now. Steph Curry started his career in the NBA as a Nike guy, and then when Nike called him Stefan or Stefan, whatever it was, they said his name wrong. He decided to go with a burgeoning Under Armour in their basketball division, and it was a win-win like you wouldn't believe. Absolutely massive for Under Armour. Well, it's being reported today that he is going to sign a 10-year deal with Nike. Now, that'll go way past the end of his career, but we know that that's something that, to this day, Jordan is still part of it. He hasn't played in forever. But right now, the centerpieces of Nike are LeBron James and Kevin Durant. And then in soccer, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. All those guys getting a little up there in age. Dominic, I'll ask you, I don't know if you saw the story. What do you think the 10-year deal with Nike is reported to be?
Probably $500 million.
$890 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got a quick one for you, Rick. Do you know who one of the execs was on that pitch that screwed up the first time around with Nike?
I'm going to say it's the Notre Dame AD.
No, it's the man who traded away Luka Doncic, Nico Harrison.
Yes. I was thinking there's 2 executives. That's the other one. Wow. He's good. He lost Curry and Doncic. Oh, that's actually gold. That is really good. What did you do while you were at Nike? Oh, the sales went up. You wouldn't believe how the sales went up. I know, but what did you do? I was there when the sales went up. Okay. So nearly $1 billion. That means, doing the math now here, Richmond Unified School District. By the way, shout out to the RUSD. I went to my buddy's 60th birthday the other day. Everybody there went to college, and a lot of them went to like Harvard and Stanford. So shout out to the Richmond Unified School District. Anyway, $89 million a year. This has nothing to do with the Warriors. Well, he's playing on the Warriors. But I like to see what the shoe is. The shoe that he had before, the one that Nico Harrison and company put out there, was awesome. I remember I saw a picture of it. It was they were navy blue with yellow. It was looked like it was a cow, and then it had a Golden Gate Bridge on it in the back.